Jeopardy! Host Ken Jennings has made controversial calls on this season of the beloved game show that not all fans agree with. Unfair judgments, misleading clues, and questionable rulings have all occurred since the champ-turned-host took control of the podium in September. Terrible daily double. Jeopardy! Fans aren't letting Ken, 47, off the hook and have regularly called out the moderator's most iffy moments. Last month, fans were left in an uproar after contestant Scott Plummer lost nearly all his earnings, and arguably the game, due to a daily double clue that many viewers deemed as just terrible. The Champions wildcard episode's Double Jeopardy round saw Ken introduce the category, That's Misleading. Scott, a software developer from Golden, Colorado, at $3,200, Tim Moon, an attorney from Los Angeles, California, at $1,800, and Amy Beckerman, a copy editor from Durham, New Hampshire, led with $5,000. Ken explained how the category would work. The two parts of each clue would form a compound word. If I say, singer Brian with a blanket on, you say, what is lukewarm? Get it? The contestants had no problem getting the other 4 clues in the round, until Scott found one that was a daily double. Scott then picked the $2,000 clue, the last daily double. He had $3,600 after bouncing back from $0 having missed the second daily double. Amy had $12,600 and Tim had $3,000. Scott decided to bet nearly all his earnings, or $3,200, on a clue that read, paintings seen along the sloping path for wheelchairs. Scott just stared and had no idea what the compound word could be, something ramp. He responded and shook his head. The timer ran out, and Ken ruled he was incorrect, explaining it was rampart, and breathily repeating rampart. Fans took to Reddit, furious on Scott's behalf since unlike every other clue in the category, the two parts of the daily double's desired response were switched around. One fan wrote, I'm usually on the side of the writers, but DD3 was bull tea. Literally every other clue in the That's Misleading category gave the two halves in the same order as the correct response compound word. But then suddenly, for the daily double, the clue gave the two halves in reverse order. What the hell is that? I'd bet anything he considered art ramp in his head and discarded it because art ramp isn't a word. Another fan agreed, that was my response, art ramp, thinking it might be a term of art used in galleries or somewhere I'd never heard before. Totally bogus in every way, and likely cost Scott the game. A third commenter argued, also, rampart isn't a compound word or phrase in the same way as the other 4 clues, kidnap, sawhorse, banana split, fishbowl. In those 4 cases, if you say the 2 component words, it sounds exactly the same as the resulting correct response word or phrase. But rampart isn't pronounced rampart, it's rampart. Just terrible. A fourth wrote, absolutely baffling decision to make that a daily double. There's a difference between hard and unfair. What's worse, Scott was the only player correct in Final Jeopardy, so if he had been granted the $6,400 swing he would have won. Come again. Also in November, contestant Nick Cascone had a smooth sailing win, -1 bumpy back and forth with Ken. The Jeopardy! Host ruled him correct on a clue that the contestant initially mispronounced. Ken read, in WWI the second battle of this western Belgian city saw some of the earliest use of deadly poison gas.